You should not leave your job. All right. If you were planning to quit your job, right, then consider yourself lucky enough to have clicked on this particular video. All right. You are one of probably a million that are going to make the mistake that you are just about to make. So please don't leave your job. And I will tell you why. Greetings to you and welcome to today's special podcast. I hope you are doing well. You know, um, we are often told, to quit our jobs, all right? And even sometimes we ourselves, we are often convinced that, we need to quit our job, we need to, but it is important that you do it the right way, okay? I am not a professional coach or whatever, but I'm just sharing, some personal experiences with you, or at least some knowledge that I've gained as a so far in my young career, right? I'm just sharing that with you, and I hope maybe you probably watching me, you are more experienced, you are much older, all right, and all of that, but you may be able to, you know, make some sense out of the nonsense that I'm going to say, right? So I'm advising that you should not leave your job. Why? I'm going to tell you why, all right? I don't literally mean that you should not leave your job, but I'm trying to share with you some perspectives that would help guide you in your decision making process as far as, or as, yes, as far as um, quitting your job is concerned, okay? So one thing that I have to let you understand is that if you are quitting your job for the reason that you want, um, a better work environment, maybe you want a workplace um, that is more. Let me make it clear. All right, this video is centered on people that really want to quit their job because they feel like their current workplace is toxic. Right. For other people that are quitting their jobs, maybe because they have other offers or better opportunities elsewhere, or opportunities that really match their experience, better salaries, whatever, they are free to go. Okay. I mean, who wouldn't want the best or something better than what they are into at the moment? So I have no issues with that. Okay. But where I have an issue with you wanting to quit your job just for the fact that you consider your current workplace a toxic one, it's not like I have a problem, okay? As a matter of fact, sometimes it's even better to leave some toxic workplaces, even if you have nothing at all um, to fall back on, okay? You have no other plans whatsoever, but sometimes it's better to actually quit your job and figure it out, at least for your sanity, your mental health, and for your well being, right? And sometimes just for your own peace, right? And tranquility. And even sometimes for your own um, career growth or whatever, you need to sometimes make some drastic changes. So I'm not trying to say you should, that's why I'm taking my time to explain why I'm saying you should not quit your job. All right. I don't want my video title to be misleading. That is not what I'm doing. So I'm taking my time to explain. So, but regards to people who want to quit their jobs because they consider their current workplace or work environment a toxic one, I'm trying to say, all that I'm trying to say is that you should really take a step back, right, and examine to see whether what you are going through is something that maybe if you could, adjust a bit, all right, if you could adapt just a little more, all right, you probably would be able to cope with the situation. All right, ask this question. Isn't it something that you probably may be able to cope up with? at least for the time being, as you seek better opportunities. Ask yourself this question. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes we make rash decisions and we end up regretting. All that I'm trying to say by this is that there's no perfect workplace in terms of, especially if you're leaving your job solely for the fact that your workplace is toxic. I'm not saying stay in that toxic environment. I would never do that. Okay. I would never ever recommend that for you. As I explained earlier on, it might hurt your career. It's not good for your sanity. It's just not, nobody wants. We all just go there. Either we are passionate, really are passionate about our jobs, but more especially to make a paycheck and go home. We don't go there to look for trouble. At least most people don't go there for such. But there are a lot of people who also go there for such drama, and who also go there to, topple people or whatever, just to be able to reach their heights. Sometimes you are in a work environment whereby the management is toxic, right? And it's like, you have to also be toxic. They actually want to hire people that are also toxic, people that are gossipers, people that would be, you know, they're clowns and all of that. And if you're not playing up to the game and they're like, I mean, you feel like because of this, there's some kind of resentment towards you for you not choosing to be part of the crowd, and they are making your work life so hard for you, and you really consider leaving, I have no problem with that. But I'm just saying, before you leave, please make sure that you think about the fact that, or you come to the realization that there's no perfect workplace in terms of, you know, um, the suitability of the work environment. Okay, in terms of human behavior, anywhere at all that you go, you would always find somebody that would be like a mirror image of the person that you left in your last job, right? In your previous job, you are most likely going to meet somebody. Probably, if in your previous job that was your manager, maybe this time around it'll be a coworker, or sometimes it will be somebody that you are not even reporting to this person, and you are not even, it's not even your direct coworker, or whatever the case is. But I keep repeating, I'm not by this encouraging you to stay in your toxic work environment, but I'm only trying to let you understand that before you make that move, make sure that at least you have something going on. Maybe you've really found, or at least you are convinced that, you will have something sooner or later, or as soon as you leave, it wouldn't, you have that assurance, right? But don't just be hopping from one job to the other, okay, based on just the mere fact that, you know, your manager is toxic, your coworkers aren't supportive, or they are, they keep hiding information from you. You are like, there's a lot of, you are just in a toxic work environment. Because I would say that I have no data to back what I'm saying, but I can guarantee you that almost every work environment is toxic. All right. Not toxic as in whatever, but you'll have those elements. It's part of human behavior. Even you and some of your siblings, you don't get along, or some of your parents, your relative, you don't get along. So that is just bound to happen. So what I'm trying to say is that instead of us, especially with the young guys, some of us always trying to jump from one job to the other, we should rather take our time to, sometimes we are actually the problem. That's why and sometimes you might be genuinely going through something, right? And I never would ever wish a toxic work environment for even my enemy. You see, so, but all I'm trying to say is that every work environment is relatively toxic. So before you make a move, really make sure that you have a backup plan. Maybe you have something, you have already been offered another job, or maybe you have your own business and you are doing well, and you can depend on your own business until you find another job, or you can just, I mean, be your own boss for life, you know. So you really have a fallback plan, but don't make a rushed decision if it's all about just toxic work environment. And it also depends on how is the situation. So I'm not by this advising that you should really leave your job. No, because there are some work environments that people might even be after your life. You never know. Okay, so feel free to leave your job if you have to. And I would say if you are in a situation where, I mean, it's unbearable, you go to the work and it's like you just have to you constantly have to please people that cannot be pleased just to keep your job, then it's time to go home. I wouldn't mind even leaving, even if I have nothing planned. Okay. But don't make a rash decision. Please take your time and please understand that almost all workplaces are relatively toxic. So what you have to, so you have to what would be the solution? All right. If you feel like your current job place, based on what I'm saying, is not something that, you know, at least you are able to cope. At least though they might not appreciate your work and all of that, um though, like, because sometimes some managers will gaslight you. It's not as if you are not doing much, but it's just like they complain about the petty mistakes, and they give you no credit for the great work that you do. So if it's just about some of these things, but you know that, okay, personally or deep within you, you know that you do your job well. Um, it's just okay for you not to be liked by everybody. So it's fine. Just accept it that, I mean, if people hate me, I love you have to you need some self-love. And it's even self-love that would let you leave your job finally. So if you know that what they are doing because of the love that I have for myself is something that I can't really accept, and you consider leaving, go ahead, and yeah, you know. But the same self-love would also make you understand that if it's just about the fact that you have a lot of naysayers and a lot of haters around, and it's not just at the point of maybe these are very jealous coworkers. Okay, they are maybe you are the one that is like you are best at what you do and what have you, and the fear of you being promoted and all of that, they are being jealous and what have you. Then you just ignore them and stay on your grind, you know, and until you find maybe something better. You know what I'm saying? So my message was just that you should not make a rash decision. Thank you so much for watching, and please share your experiences. Let me know if you're about to leave your job and why, so that if I can be of assistance or if I could share more experience with you, I mean, I'll be more than willing to do that. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe. Bye.